Laura Ingraham wrote a book, Power to the People, and she acknowledges in this book that our world sure seems sometimes pretty messed up, and we've got some strange priorities in our society. But what's the most precious and promising and sweetest ingredient in this world? Laura writes about government growing and politicians wanting more and more control over every aspect of our lives and our families. For the children, gotta grow government for the children, gotta do all of this for the children. The more they do that, though, the less some seem to actually want actual children in this world with their advocacy for abortion. She writes in this book, the worst expression of our cultural failing is the claim that it is wrong to let children live, to bring them into this, quote, horrible world that we've created. No, we've got that so wrong. And Laura nailed it. She says, you don't make the world better by eliminating the most precious ingredient in it, children. Carl Sandburg said, a baby is God's opinion that the world should go on. And I know for sure that what you are doing here in Evansville tonight is powerful. You're a testament to the force and the will of people who believe in truth. And you know, truth has a way of barging through the doors of our lives, whether we're prepared for it or not. Let me take you just very quickly over a tiny bit of my recent path, because I learned a lot of what I know for sure in this last year. Our oldest son, Track, he's 19. He was getting ready to deploy with his Army Stryker Brigade over to Iraq. And you mamas know out there, oh, our firstborn, you know, they got our hearts. And now a fifth of my heart is in Iraq. So kind of life-changing right there at the beginning of the year. And then we had Trig, and I'll talk about him in just a little bit. And then about a month later, my teenage daughter, my strong, independent, smart, great student, good athlete, my strong daughter, she came to me and she painstakingly and shockingly confided that she was going to be a mom. Talk about change. And since she's had a beautiful, precious baby boy, but boy, she's now 18 years old, but came to me at 17 and gave us the news. All these circumstances in just a matter of a few months seemed so less than ideal. They seemed surreal. But I had to hold on to my faith, my belief that, again, everything has purpose. Oh, what a year. And then a couple of months later, I was chosen to run for vice president. That, too, happened. So picked to run for vice president, borrowed a few clothes, went on the road. Well, I'd shown up with an overnight bag, and we were on the road. So borrowed some clothes, okay. We had a couple of sit-down interviews, and those went real well. Soon felt the need to provide Tina Fey with some job security. Felt obligated. It was a great experience. Can you imagine how humbling, yet such an honor to get to run with an American hero, with John McCain. He and his family, a class act, and I have great respect for Senator John McCain. And it was the privilege of a lifetime. Truly an American hero. So Trig enters our world. He was so sweet and tiny, and I was just so anxious to meet him because, he must have been very anxious to meet us too, because he came 5 weeks early, and it had been such a trip not telling anybody that I was pregnant until a month before I had him. Even funnier, though, was when I finally told some reporters, and some other time I'll tell you about that, but it was hilarious when I started telling folks that I was pregnant. And I didn't tell people because there are some Neanderthals out there who don't believe that a woman can work and carry a child at the same time. Plus, I figured it's one less thing for the critics to gripe about at the time, their governor being pregnant. And it was just really, though, too, a sweet, sacred time of secret between Todd and God and me. And I figured that's all he needs to know. And the circumstances there really allowed me an understanding of the sensitivities and the complexities of what a woman goes through in maybe some less than ideal circumstances when she finds out that she is pregnant. I learned a lot about kind of the other side of the issue, and it has helped me. It has helped me be even more confident in our position that protecting life is what we need to do here in America. There has been great purpose in what I went through this past year. I was so anxious to meet Trig because I had learned at 13 weeks along that he would be born with Down syndrome. And that blew me away. It just rocked my world. And to be honest with you, I had a heck of a time being able to put my arms around the idea of having a baby at 44 and then knowing that the baby would have some challenges. And it was a serious time of testing. I didn't know what to expect, but it was a time where I had to ask myself, was I going to walk the walk or was I just going to talk the talk, as Matthew sang about, just going through the motions? I had to ask myself that. I'd found out that I was pregnant while out of state first at an oil and gas conference, and while out of state there, just for a fleeting moment, I knew nobody knows me here. Nobody would ever know. I thought, wow, it is easy, could be easy to think maybe of trying to change the circumstances, and no one would know, no one would ever know. And then when my amniocentesis results came back, showing what they called abnormalities, and oh, dear God, I knew I had instantly an understanding for that fleeting moment why someone would believe it could seem possible to change those circumstances, just make it all go away and get some normalcy back in life. Just take care of it. Because at the time, only my doctor knew the results. Todd didn't even know. No one would know. But I would know. Because, first I thought, how in the world could we manage a change of this magnitude? I was a very busy governor with 4 busy kids and a husband with a job hundreds of miles away up on the North Slope oil fields. And, the criticism that I knew was coming. Plus, I was old. And I thought, yeah, very funny, God. My name is Sarah, but my husband is not Abraham. He's Todd. Yeah, and just like Sarah of old, I laughed. So, the thought, starting all over with diapers and midnight feedings and putting down the BlackBerry and picking up the breast pump, doing all that all over again. Truly, less than ideal circumstances perhaps, but I had just enough faith to know that my trying to change the circumstances wasn't any answer. And friends, here tonight, that faith was built on what I hear from you, Vanderburgh, Right to Life. The seeds that you plant in a heart with your kind and your adamant efforts that can grow into a good decision to choose life. I came to believe that Trig's prenatal test was me being asked if I would trust and believe and, more importantly, live out what I'd been saying for years about the pro-life movement and the purpose and the sanctity of every life, no matter the circumstances. I'd always been pro-life, I said. So we went through some things a year ago that now lets me understand a girl's temptation to maybe try to make it all go away if she has been influenced by society to believe that she's not strong enough or smart enough or equipped enough or convenienced enough to make the choice to let the child live. I do understand what these women, what these girls go through in that thought process.